you've never been a politician before?
No.
The first time you come into politics, you want to fight it off with the biggest names in Kenya's politics.
Yes.
Not just because James Orengo is the James Orengo we know, but because there's another man in the race, Oburu Odinga. The Odinga name is synonymous with Kenya's politics right from independence.
Yes.
Why do you think you are strong enough to fight this gentleman for Siaya senatorship?
I don't think it's an issue of strength. It's an issue for passion to serve. It's an issue of reaching out there and continuing the mission that I started a long time ago when I was brought into this world. It's not an issue of who I'm facing. It's the issue of my people, whom I've worked with, I've journeyed with, and I've seen they need a change, they need a new visionary, they need new ideas, and they need new ways of doing politics in Siaya. And that's why I'm here this morning. Yeah.
First reverse. Who are you? Who are you?
Actually, describing who I am, first of all, I'm a woman, I'm a Christian, I've been a nun, and I'm a Kenyan above all that. And so as a Kenyan, I have the responsibility to serve my people in any office without any discrimination and with that clear mind that there is only two people that I owe an allegiance to, that is God and to my fellow Kenyans, and mostly to the people of Siaya, whom I'm throwing myself out there and say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready for the race, I'm ready for the task. And I think at the age of 45, anybody can do anything she wants.
Viewers, on the dock today, in the studio with me on Succession 2013 is Sister Agnes Awuor, the woman who has been a nun for 26 years and now wants to cross over into politics. Help me ask her why. Help me interview this lady for the job of Siaya Senator today by participating on SMS. Number is 8040, that is 8040. If you have any question, any comment, any criticism, or if you know anything about this lady that you want her to respond to today, please send in your question, your comment, your criticism to the number on SMS 8040. If you want to respond through Twitter, send us your post to our Twitter page at KTN Kenya, or if you are on Facebook, go to facebook.com/KTN Kenya. Back to you, ma'am.
Yes.
This is a hard question for me to ask you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because the voters in Siaya County are watching me today. Kenyans are also watching me today, and they will judge me very harshly if I'm rude to a nun. Why would a nun want to quit that sheltered life? Because I grew up believing that a nun is catered for financially, academically. You are sorted, you have a good life, a good house. Everything is structured, you have a structured life. Why would you leave that after 26 years in a convent?
I would really answer your question by giving you a very good example. An egg is laid by a hen, right? And it reaches a point that that egg has to be hatched out of that shell, which was a comfortable zone, a well-protected zone, to find a new way of life. And that hatched egg becomes an hen. And what I want to bring out here is I lived a very comfortable world, but I was not sheltered. I was in the world. I was seeing what was happening around. I have also experienced different cultures. I've seen the way things have been done. And I'm not covered into a cocoon. I'm in an open world situation. I talk with people. I hear my people saying, we're tired of this. We don't have this. Who can help us? And I said, okay, I think I need to give back value to the public. I need to give back what has been given to me. I've been educated, I've had experience. Why not go and try it out? Why not serve? Actually, politics is in the Bible. Yeah, politics is in the Bible. The Bible, in another way, is also a book of politics, because we have kings and queens in the Bible. We have God anointing people to go and serve his people in the Bible. So the Bible and politics is one. We only separate the Bible and politics when it's attacking one or the other. But we are the same people reading the Bible and the same people participating in the politics. So do we divide ourselves? So that is why I'm here.
During your 26 years as a nun,
Yes.
At what point did you decide, okay, now I want to be a politician?
Actually, if you asked me those questions 3 years ago, I would tell you I never decided. But this question came up from a Kenyan woman. And many of the Kenyan women saw me leading the Kenyan women, preparing Kenyan organizations in Chicago, where I've been. And they told me, Placide, you know what? We want to tell you one thing. You are a leader, but you have covered yourself. You need to go out there. And this woman gave me 2 hours of lecture. I was sitting down, not sitting down in a studio with you like this. And she told me, go back there. To serve as a nun does not only mean you're serving specific people, but even when you serve your fellow Kenyans, you're serving, you're doing the work of God, because you're taking it as a service and not only as politics. So that's where I come across.
This is hot because people already are sending in SMSs, Twitter posts about you, questions they want me to ask you. And in fact, this one I would give to you right away from Dr. Ogonda in Gwasi. He says, what experiences does 26 years in a convent bring into politics and development?
Actually, that's a good question. I think many people don't have an idea of a nun. They have an idea of a nun locked into a convent who does not see what is happening into the world, a nun who is not open-minded. The nuns are very open-minded people. I lived in the Philippines. The nuns are the people who are promoting women to go for leadership in politics. We are educated women. We are not cocooned in a catacomb, closed in a church. We walk with we relate with people in the outside world. We hear their problems. We hear their issues. And if I'm ready, what's the problem? That's what I ask. I want to respond to that man. What's the problem? Am I not a Kenyan? Yeah. Am I not given a right as any other Kenyan? And the Constitution puts it very clearly. Nobody is separated from what you want to do. And that's what I want to do. And I'm going to take the bull by the horns. And I'm going to do it, brother.
The calling to be a nun, you served that, you understood that for 26 years.
Yes.
That's as long as some Kenyans have been alive.
Yes.
Kenyans were going to vote for you.
Yes.
How do you understand the calling for the post of senatorship of Siaya County? What do you think you'll have to do? What do you think you need to do as a senator for Siaya County?
Actually, the Senate seat is a legislative seat. And as a legislative seat, you need to represent your people. You need to hear their issues. You need to hear their problems. You need to see that the things that they were promised, like the projects, are being done. And a senator is also like a tourist. You need to as a tourist who is an investor, who is inviting investors. And that's what I'm doing right now. As I live in and out of the country, I talk to people. I say, you know what? I've seen there is no sustainable agriculture in Siaya. Can we do something? The education level, Siaya was known as the giant of the intelligent men and women. You go there, you'll still find, I was walking there with my fellow woman who is right here, who is running for women representative. We have schools that have no windows at this time and century. Is that not a concern? And so that's why I'm moving out there. I want to say, my people, what can we do? I'm not going to do it alone. I want to say, together we can. And that's my motto. We can make a change. And Siaya needs a change for the better. And here I am.
Why have you chosen to be an independent candidate rather than join the myriad of political parties we have?
Actually, you read manifestos of different political parties, and there are things that you lack in them. And you come and say, okay, and you see the infightings, like, for example, like right now in ODM, you find Oburu and Orengo, and you have been reading in the newspaper, they are not going very well together. I was in game, I could see all that being portrayed. I don't want to enter in those muggy waters. I am an independent-minded woman, and that's why even when I decided to go solo, the politics of Kenya have changed. It doesn't depend on parties. It depends on what that person is bringing abroad. It depends on the policies that you're going to bring. And I think that's the new face of Kenya. And thanks to the new constitution.
And talking about policies that you are going to bring, what are you going to do differently? Not just because you've been a nun, but because you say you want to change the face of politics in Kenya, in Siaya County. What are you going to do that is different from what everyone else has done before, and that is going to change Siaya County from what it is today to a better Siaya County?
Actually, I believe if you see the CDF projects, just check on Ugenya CDF projects or different places in Siaya, and you will see that there are 400 million that went to ghost projects. What are those ghost projects? So those are the things that I want to address, because I believe in ethics. I believe in integrity of service. I don't want nepotism, whereby a CDF will be covered with all my relatives. I don't have time for that. I don't have kids. I'm not married. So my marriage is to the people of Siaya. So that's what I'll be checking on. Why do we have people called Jokoe? Jokoe in Luo means thieves, young boys being called Jokoe in the villages. Those kids are not thieves. Those kids are hopeless youths who, if given empowerment through microfinance, maybe through the border, we can open for them things like SACCO. They can become empowered, and they won't be harassing villagers in the village. I went along the beach. I was in Imbo yesterday, and I saw 13-year-old girls carrying babies, and my heart sank. You know why? Because those kids should be in school, and they should not be mothers. These are mothers of kids. But it's the poverty line. It's the poverty line that pushes these kids to move there. And the girl child is my heart. And that's why I'm moving there. I look at our women, the empowerment. They have those small scale. But it's nothing. It's just few coins. I want to make small scale businesses in every ward, so that every ward is empowered. People don't have to be flocking to Nairobi for jobs. There are jobs in Siaya. Siaya is a very wealthy place if we bring out the wealth through the people. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Now, your presence in KTN studios today has woken up Siaya County, and the people of Siaya are here.
Yes.
I can tell you that SMSing in a frenzy. And one young man called Martin from Siaya asked a very cheeky question. I say cheeky because I understand your background, I understand my background. And this man is thinking of you now post-convent. Says, you are a nun, you've dropped that. Does that mean the principles that govern being a nun have been dropped as well? Now you're going to get married and follow your man to his village. How will this help Siaya County? This is Martin from Siaya.
I think I would answer Martin by being very frank. I just mentioned what I'm about. I'm not looking for a husband at this age. That's not my commitment. I'm still committed actually to Christ. I'm still dedicated. And that's why I put that ring here. So tell Martin I'm married. I'm sorry for that.
Okay. Now, then my question comes from the same one. Where, during the 26 years of your life in the convent, where did you get the time to study first for a master's in education and then for a PhD in political science? And what was your intention?
Actually, I have been my uncle was a politician who was murdered, and that is Horace Ongili Owiti. And some of you might have grown of age that time, or you were babies. And then I went to the Philippines to study, and I saw how people were motivated in the politics of the day. And I participated in the Second People's Power when they removed President Estrada. And I used to line up with the sisters and the priests on the street demanding Arab to resign because he was a corrupt leader. And I think that's when the Lord was forming me. I said, this is a call. So it's a continuation of a call within a call. The Lord was forming me for his people. And when time reaches, this is like an idea that its time has come. And if I don't make use of it, it will just go like all the other ideas. And I have to use it. And this is the time. Now is the time. Yeah.
Now is the time.
Yes.
And talking about now, you're going to face off with, like I said when we started, giants, political giants.
Yes.
Somebody with an Odinga name.
Yes.
Another person who is
a great lawyer.
A great lawyer, and his name is synonymous with the struggle for the second liberation, and even the third.
Yes.
What do you think you have that will help you fight these men? Because politics, Mom, politics is dirty. You know it. Politics is brutal.
Yes.
These people will drag your name through the mud. These people will dig up things about you that even you never knew about yourself. These people, they might have financial resources that you never imagined possible. Where will you get the oomph? Where will you get the money? Where will you get the strength? Because you are not going for the 16 positions of nominated women to the Senate who are going to just breeze in through the parties. You're going to the ground to fight it out with them. How will you do it?
My brother, I was already in the ground. I've just arrived from Siaya. I went round and round. And you know what I believe? Do you remember the story of David and Goliath? Here's David sitting with you. It depends what people want to hear. People have been telling me now is the time for women. We need a change. And the change, it doesn't take a giant to bring a change. Goliath can bring a change too. Yes, they have names, but I'm also making a name right now. Is my name not mighty right now? So they have names that were created maybe because of they were lined to somebody, they were linked to something, but I'm linked to a passion which is driven by a motive for change. And as much as it takes, when you're a leader, you have to be able to have a stomach for the negative, a stomach for the positive, and you have to bounce like a ball. And I'm ready to bounce that as a ball if Siaya will have a change, if we will have politics done in a different way, if we will not have Godfather because you have a Godfather name. So that's what I'm bringing in. And really, to be very sincere with you, it doesn't make me feel afraid. I'm very strengthened with them. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've gone through hard experiences in life. So this is just like a pathway through. They will say anything. Let them say. But the people will decide. Yeah.
Another person says his name is Oginga Morris. What are your plans for the Siaya people?
You want to hear some of my plans for the Siaya people? I think I've been narrating this, and people maybe have not. One of the things is, the first thing that I want to do is food sustainability. Because if you don't have food, people cannot not go to school. People cannot do anything. And so that's why I'm talking with investors so that we can work with the cooperatives to bring like tractors from the Caterpillar in the United States. They can bring them here or from other countries, reduce the price cost for the people, and then it can be cheaper. Because like place where I come from, like game can be a granary for the whole of the country if there's proper agricultural ways of farming. The next thing is better schools for everybody. Because if there are better schools, why should we have ministers sending their kids to England, sending their kids to other schools, and not their kids to Siaya? If you really want to be a representative of the people, you should have your kids, like President Julius Nyerere, study in the village. That's the kind of schools I want. A school that everybody feels comfortable in, and not schools without windows. Schools where kids are still beaten with jiggers. And yet you say you want to represent the people? The third thing I want to change is the youths. I don't want our youth to be languishing in Siaya prison. Youths there can be rehabilitation, in that the youths are welcomed back in the community by giving them jobs like planting trees. Why lock somebody in prison who is capable, who has strength? Bring them back to the community. Bring the dualism that we used to have, where elders can have these kids and talk to them and say, hey man, we grew up, we had problems, but this is the way we manage them. I want to talk with a girl child the way I told you, to make them come up with something that they want to do. So I'm already talking with the youths. I say, I don't want to tell me to give you 5 shillings, 500. If I give you 500 shillings, which the Constitution does not allow because that is bribery, then I'll not have given you a future. I want you to have a future of your own, a future that you have decided by joining into a group, forming a group and coming up with a project that you want to do. And some of the projects that I was talking about, they say, yes, ma'am, we'll support you if you do this. I want to work out for the women so that we will have microfinance. We have women who have SACCO in Kiambu, for example, in Gatanga, where Peter Kenneth comes from. I really respect a man of Peter Kenneth. We went to school on the same time, at the same period. I really appreciate what he has done for Gatanga. So Gatanga should be a reflection for Siaya. I want to talk about the widows and the orphans. Nobody talks about the widows and the orphans and the widowers. So, and you know what we have had in the community for some 25 years ago because of the HIV/AIDS, our grandmothers have become parents again. And so how are they being helped? What is the CDF funds doing for these people? Are we really bringing a society of people languishing in poverty, or a middle-class society? That's what I pray for the people in Siaya. And everybody in Siaya should have a change. That's me. And the last thing is respect for life and respect for God. If we don't have that in life, then we have lost everything. And maybe that's what you can't find in other manifestos. You'll not find respect for life and respect for God because they think differently. Yeah.
Now, there are Kenyans from even outside Siaya County.
Yes.
Some are wishing you well. This is Pastor Amani in Meru. Says, Agnes, go on. We like your confidence. You are the new fresh face we are looking for. And then there's a lady here who says, go for that seat, my dear sister. We as ladies, we support you. Wow. Okay. I'm sure this person is... I come from Siaya, and we should try and get change from everyday politicians. So soldier on, ma'am, we are with you. Now, my question to you, these are just too many. We'll keep going through them as we go along. My question is, politics is once in 5 years, the election.
Yes.
And the competitive elective politics is winner takes all,
Yes.
all or nothing. What happens to Sister Agnes Awuor if she doesn't make it to the Senate?
My brother.
You go back to community service? Because basically I'm sure you're not going back to be to the convent after this.
I will still go back and do what I've been doing, but do it with the mind that at least I put my name there. I was ready to serve. I'm still going to serve the people of Siaya in any capacity that I'm going to be in. Yeah. So for me, whether you win, but winning is not decided by the numbers of votes that you get. Winning is determined by being able to take the challenge. And it takes strength and courage to face what I'm facing. And that's the winning side. Yeah.
We are going to take a 2-minute break just so that you can take a sip of your juice. But I would just like to read this from Mrs. Mundu in Kilifi, watching you today. And she says, Madam Nan, don't worry. Goliath was put down by David and Esther saved her people. Go ahead, we'll put you in in our prayers. Somebody here says, there is one place she has not visited. It's called Kowinga Village, where kids walk all the way to Sirisia to pray, or I think to high secondary school, to primary or secondary school. Have you been to Kowinga Village? Do you understand their concerns? Do you know where that is?
It is true that you can say you can't visit every place, but like yesterday, there were places that were really touching for me because I took the whole day yesterday, the other day, and even on Friday when I was coming along. And I believe I'll still have a chance to visit all these people. I wish this person could give me the direction of Kowinga, because you see, Siaya is a big county, and there's a new thing that has come up. Before, we only used to have members of parliament, and so you didn't have to know the whole of the county. There's like 6 constituencies, so it's a wide thing, but I believe in the next few months, I will put my rubber shoes on, put my kofia on, and I'll be there with them. Yeah.
There's a lady called Lucille in Nairobi. She says, I support her. We are tired of those political giants. And then there's a question here for you. What did you think of before you made your decision to go for the senator seat? Why not MP? This is Santo Shem from Mombasa.
Actually, I would like to answer Mr. Shanto by telling him, you don't have to just go for the MP. You choose what you have. And I believe I have the capability, I have the nerve, and I have the guts, and I have the muscle to race for that Senate seat.
This is Kenya, ma'am. And I told you politics here is brutal.
Yes.
And it's starting right here. There's a viewer here who says, the giants, the so-called giants you're going to face off with are people who will name things they have done. They say, I've done this for Siaya, I've done this for Ugenya, I've done this for Bondo, I've done this in the finance ministry. What will you be mentioning? You know, this is, he says, thanks for the show with Agnes. I'm Osundwa from Mumias. What has Agnes done for the people of Siaya before and during her 26 years as a nun?
Actually, I have served the people of Kenya in different capacities. I served in Eldoret, have been a principal. Is that not serving people? Is not educating kids. I've been a teacher in the classroom. And the next thing, I educate 180 kids in a group we call the Sango group. And this education is very important. Those people you call giants, they have not helped people. That was government money given to them to serve the people. So it's not what they have done, it's what government has given them to do for the people. And as I was telling you, some of them have not been used properly. So I shouldn't say you're a giant because somebody gave you funds to help. How about if you remove funds like me, who sacrifices to see that other kids, the orphans, who are orphans but brilliant, can go to school? That is what is called service. Yes.
You have admirers who keep texting in. This is Njeri from Korea. She says, "Bravo, Agnes, you are my mentor." Viewers, we are on set today on Succession 2013 with the lady Sister Agnes Awuor, who has been a nun for 26 years but now has decided that it's time for her to join Kenya's first government under the new constitution in 2013 by being Senator of Siaya County. If you have questions for Agnes Awuor, please send in your messages through SMS number 8040 or on Twitter at KTN Kenya or on Facebook, facebook.com/KTN Kenya, and your comments keep coming in. There's a gentleman here. This gentleman is called Calist Omondi from Mombasa County, and he says, "Mom, Kenyan politics is a dirty game. Why do you want to soil yourself after 26 years of holy life?"
Okay, it depends how you reason out politics to be. That's the face that we have given politics. Politics is about serving. We live in a democratic world where a leader is chosen for the people by the people. It's when you don't do what people need you to do right, then it becomes muggy. It's when somebody is afraid of you, then this person starts soiling you. But unless you are soiled, I want to give an example. When a child is born bloody, right? There's no child who is born clean. You're covered with blood, but you're washed. And unless you go through the muggy process, you can't be cleaned. So that's part of life. Even in the normal life, people paka you matope. Am I lying when I say that? Okay.
There's another gentleman who's called Tubman Bosley. He says, "People who are in their sunset years," I think he's talking about your competitors, your rivals. "People who are in their sunset years in politics should leave for fresh minds. Agnes, we need you urgently." In 2013. There's another person here from Ukunda, all the way in Coast. "I support this lady to be senator. From her speeches, we can only say she was born a leader." Robert says, "Congratulations, ma'am, keep it up." My question to you, ma'am, sorry, before I ask, there's a Reverend Njeru Washira. I think nuns understand people more than anyone else. They are preoccupied with development, running schools and hospitals, and are well educated. Given what this Reverend Njeru is saying, wouldn't you have been better off maybe as a governor and not as a senator?
I wouldn't say that. You know, your passion lies where you feel your strength is. Maybe, who knows, the next time I'll be vying to be the governor or the president of the nation. So I start from where I want to start from and move on. But my kind of really going into politics is to come up with an example of how politics should be done and be able to pass on the baton to another new generation with fresh ideas. And that's why I'm going, to prepare. I'm like John the Baptist, prepare the way so that others can walk. And unless some people walked, unless Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Jaramogi Odinga walked tall, we wouldn't be walking today. Yes. But now it's not a time for walking in Kenya. It's a time of running to the future. We have to run to the future because the future is leaving us. Thank you. Yeah.
Who is behind you in this quest for Siaya Senator?
You know
Other
what?
than God.
Oh, I wanted to say God is behind me.
Who else is behind
A
you?
lot of friends are behind me. A lot of different people whom I don't know are behind me. Like I got a note from somebody and said, "Brilliant senator, go on." I didn't even know this person. And the fellow Kenyans who've just tweeted to you, written on Facebook, send messages are behind me. What else do I need? And the people of Siaya are behind me who have shared with my policies. Yesterday I went around, the other day I went around. There's nobody who bullied me. And what does that tell you? People are ready. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The campaign period will come.
Yes.
And that is a time you will have to hit the ground,
yes,
go to every corner of Siaya County. And Siaya County is huge and
yes,
huge.
yes.
How are you marshalling resources? How will you raise funds for your campaigns?
You know what? As I talk with you, I might touch a chord with you. As I talk with those people who will listen to me, they say that woman needs our support. And believe me, I have that strong faith. Things have happened to me in a different way that I've said, if it's not God, this is not me. And even this political thing is a godly thing. And my thing is, follow your passion, money will follow. The money will come. I went round yesterday. How did I get my finances? Friends say, we'll give you a Pajero, we'll give you a Prado. I went in the one part of game, the whole of it, from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening. Yesterday I started from 9 o'clock. I was in Bondo, and then I came to Siaya. So I have already started Meet the People tour. And I don't meet them on the road. I go greeting them hand on hand. And when I introduce myself, people pull their hand. They say, we have never seen a leader coming to greet us. They send us their PA. But here I am. I want people to be with their leaders. So my brother, that will be available when that time comes.
Now, this question, I had it in my mind from the time we started.
Yes.
Why was the church uncomfortable with your aspirations for political office?
Actually, I would say the church itself is a political state. And you see, the church itself is a human society. And people in a human society think differently. I believe the church is not uncomfortable. And some individuals in the church are uncomfortable. Because the church has had people who have become presidents, like the president of Haiti was a Catholic Salesian priest. We have nuns who have been put in prison for being politicians. The only thing the church says is not political, which I don't want to talk much about. That's left for them to decide. And we also have gender issues in the church, which I leave that on the side because it's not our point of view right now. But anybody, when you try to shoot out, even when you wear a tight shoe and your shoe tries to open and people see that shoe, your toe pointing out, you'll feel uncomfortable, right? And so that's where I would say, by the time will come that the church will realize we can't just talk outside the fence, but we have to let our men and women be there if we want change. The church in Kenya has been very powerful over some of the years. When we had people like Cardinal Maurice Otunga, they stood out for the truth. And that's the church I still long for. That man was a dear man. Muge was a very dear man. And some of them that I don't have their names right at hand right now. Yeah.
In 2007,
yes,
I don't know whether you were in the country.
I was in the country.
There are ladies who tried their hand in politics.
Yes.
They went through pure hell. They were attacked, some were robbed,
yes,
some were insulted, called terrible names.
Yes.
Some were chased from campaign venues.
Yes.
Ever since you showed interest in the Siaya Senatorship, what have you gone through? What has your experience been like?
I remember I received an email from somebody in Canada who told me, you know what, you're just a woman. How can you face the two Goliaths? I wrote him back, I said, I'm not just a woman. I want to correct you. I am a woman whom the Constitution of Kenya says has a right to vie for any position. And we thank God for this new constitution because now election violence has been nipped. You cannot go creating violence, you'll be put in. You cannot go fighting people, you'll be put in. And so that constitution will cover us. And what I pray is not to see what I saw in 2007. It was mugging for independent, for educated men to do that to women. And I believe women viewing here know that women, we have a part, wakati ni sasa, and if we don't take the bull by the horns, we'll never make it. This is the time the new constitution has provided us with an equal power, equal energy, equal strength to go draw with men. And so let's use the chance. Yeah.
You're a political scientist. You know the Kenyan election arena, the way it plays out every election time.
Yes.
We have more than half of the Kenyan population
Yes.
being female.
Yes.
And yet, when women get up to run for political office, women never vote for their own. What do you think is the problem? And do you think the women of Siaya County suffer the same problem, that they see the men, they want to follow the men? Why don't they vote for their own? And will the women of Siaya County support you?
Actually, no, I want to tell you that is changing. Yesterday, I was just talking to a woman shopkeeper. I went to just meet the people tour, and I greeted this woman, and we were with my county representative who is in the show today, and this woman said, we are tired for voting for men. This time, mine nyalo. Mine nyalo in Luo means women can. And so if women are coming with that, it seems time has reached that they have realized it's not only, the gender is not for only one, politics is not only for one gender, but politics is for both genders. Yeah. So we have grown, we've come of age. Yeah.
So what are you doing to make the women come out and vote for you? Other than the men, what are you doing especially to get the women? Because I have not seen, I'm yet to see, since the electioneering period began towards the election we'll have in 2013,
yes.
I've not seen people designing their campaigns to target the woman voter. I've seen people promising schools, I've seen people promising food on the table, employment, but nobody's promising the woman much. What are you doing to get the woman out to vote and also to think of you as their redeemer? There's somebody who will pick them up from where they are and put them on the pedestal.
What I'm trying to talk to the women, I don't talk to women on the road. I go to the women and say, what is your group doing? And I listen to them. They tell me what they want to be, what we want us to do together. And like my campaign secretary is a woman. I have a lot of women and men in the team because I believe we can't work on one gender alone. So I have men and women in the team. And I always ask the women, what have the men you've elected before done for you? And what do you want us to do for you? And the voices I'm hearing from the women is that these men are promising us everything. That's the same voice I hear from the youths. The other day I was talking to the youth, they say, nobody is going to buy for us changa anymore. Nobody is going to promise us nothing. We actually telling some politicians to call us on the day they are elected so that to tell us to campaign for them. So I believe the lines are changing, things are changing, and women believe that women can make a difference. You have a mother in the house. Who makes the house nice? Is your mother. And so this is the time for the women to bring change to this new house that has been provided by the new constitution. Yeah.
So I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yes.
To sell yourself as an aspirant, as a candidate for the position of senator for Siaya County. Take 2 minutes and sell yourself to the people who are going to vote for you and to the Kenyans whose taxes are going to pay you and whose taxes you're going to make decisions about in the Senate. 2 minutes so that we can wind up.
Actually, thank you very much. I want to be so fast, so quickly. As an independent candidate, I want to tell the people listening to me that my case is simple, that Siaya can and must be better. The vision is one county, renewal, a county with drive, focus, and purpose. This is my contract with the people of Siaya and Kenya. I believe in Siaya. It's a great county with a great history. The people of Siaya are great people, but I believe Siaya must have better schools, better hospitals, better ways of tackling crime, building of a modern, caring, respectful county with the ability to equip ourselves for a new world economy. I want Siaya that is one with shared values, purpose, where merit comes before privilege, run for the many, not the few, strong and sure of itself at home, in the nation, wide, and as far as the global village. I want a Siaya that does not shuffle into the new millennium afraid of the future, but it strides into it with confidence. I want to renew the faith in politics through a leadership that will govern in the interest of the many, the broad majority of people who work hard to make ends meet.